All right, welcome back to Jammin' Sports, everybody, as we're getting set for our third game here this evening. And we decided to do a third game just to get this one out of the way. I wouldn't want to start my next day of games with this one. All right, we have the Carolina Panthers and the Washington Redskins. Both teams are 0-6. Both teams are having a rough season. 0-6, combined 0-12. We're calling this the Toilet Bowl. Believe it or not, it's the first time they'll play each other. They play each other twice. We get to see this again later on in Charlotte, but we're in D.C. for this one. I don't know who they're going to pick in this one. Both teams just playing like crap. Evil Dead is he's 56 and 42. He's still 14 games over 500. Viking Skywalker 20 and 18, 2 games up. Braden's 21 and 19, 2 games up. Waldo 5 and 4, 1 game up. Jack's 26 and 20, 6 games up. And CJ's 8 and 3, 5 games up. All right. Jax is going to take the Redskins. We don't use that word here, Jax. You get a demerit. Use that word. We'll see who everybody else picks here in just a second. If you're watching on YouTube, please follow, like, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Let's head out to what was once called FedEx Field, Landover, Maryland, here at Jammin' Sports. Welcome into FedEx Field, Landover, Maryland. It's the Panthers and the Redskins. And welcome into another NFL matchup here at Jammin' Sports. Not much to say here. The Panthers are 0-6. The Redskins are 0-6. I'm glad I'm not picking this one. Evil Dead's taking the Skins only because they're at home. So Jax and Evil Dead taking the Redskins. Yep. Well, it's raining down the eastern seaboard. I'm watching this because there's a weather delay in the game currently. All right. Panthers will get the ball first. We're underway. Zach Harris will kick off for the Redskins. From the 7-yard line on the return, number 82. This is John Cunningham, brings it out to the 27-yard line. And that's where Carolina will have it, 1st and 10. Luke George, the rookie out of California, Berkeley. There he is, their first-round draft pick. The Panthers are kind of snake bit. 2 games ago, they lost the game because their kicker missed 4 extra points. That ended up being the difference in the game. And then last week against the Saints scored with less than 10 seconds. Instead of tying it up, they went for 2 and they got it. 1st and 10 from the 27. George hands off to Darryl Holt. And Holt picks up 4 out to the 31-yard line, the 10th year back out of Maryland. On the tackle there, number 22, Sean Wright, the 8th year safety out of Maryland. Well, that kicker is no longer with the Panthers. They have a new kicker now. Chris Jackson's the new kicker. On 2nd and 6, George hands off to Holt, and Holt gets nailed. He gains a yard, though. The tackle made by Rodney Howell, the defensive tackle in his 4th year out of Rhode Island. The Redskins are 0-6. They lost to the Cowboys last week down in Mexico City. On 3rd and 5, George in the shotgun. George looking. George throws and caught by Cunningham out to the 38. A gain of 6. It'll be 1st down, Carolina. Somebody is going to get their first win today. We don't have ties here in Jammin' Sports, so somebody is going to be 1-6, and somebody is going to be 0-7. 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. George throws near side and caught by Philip Lee, the tight end, out to the 44-yard line. A gain of 6. It'll be 2nd and 4. Philip Lee, the rookie tight end out of Southern Miss. Yeah, they could. I mean, they could go on a roll and finish 10 and 6. It's possible. Highly improbable, but it's possible. 2nd and 4 from the 44-yard line. George in the gun. George hands off to Holt. And Darrell Holt out to the 48-yard line. They cross midfield. And that'll be a gain of 8 yards and another Carolina first down. So the Panthers are putting together a pretty good opening drive here. Don't worry, Carolina will find some way to win this, lose this game. They always do. Luke George, 1st and 10. George hands off to Holt. And Holt to the 45. A gain of 3 to be 2nd and 7. The safety on the tackle, Sean Wright. I try to use the Redskins in their white uniforms as much as possible because their burgundy uniforms, I don't like them. 2nd and 7. Holt. And Holt to the 44, gain of a yard. And the reason I don't like their burgundy and yellow uniforms, the yellow pants, there's no stripes on the pants. It just looks dumb. So if the Redskins can be in their white, they're going to be in their white. 3rd and 5 from the 44, 4 wide. George in the shotgun. In motion is Quick. George looking. George throws, and it's dropped. How many drops have we seen tonight? Jared Moore, the tight end, drops it. It would have been a first down. The 2nd-year tight end out of Notre Dame. And the Panthers will punt. They should be able to pin the Redskins deep. Derek White back to punt for Carolina. Gets the punt away. And that's going to be into the end zone, touchback. And Washington will have it at their own 20-yard line. The Redskins starting quarterback Eric Tipton in his 4th year out of the University of Washington. I mean, they give you the old-style burgundy pants with the stripes. I don't know why they don't give you the old-style white with the stripes. That'd be cool. Yeah, they have surprised me too at 0-6. They really have. Four wide for the Redskins. 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Tipton in the shotgun. Tipton hands off to Ciali. Ciali gets nailed. No gain. The Panthers are right there, led by number 51, Wade Sullivan, the 5th-year linebacker out of Michigan. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 20-yard line. Our 3rd and final game of the day. The 0-6 Panthers, the 0-6 Redskins. We'll be off tomorrow. We hope to be back on Saturday night with at least one game. I'll try to get at least one game in. 2nd and 10 from the 20-yard line. Tipton in the shotgun. Tipton back. Tipton in trouble. Tipton gets sacked back at the 10-yard line. A loss of 10 yards. Sack made by Elijah Andrews in his 2nd year out of Arizona State, the defensive end. Hard to believe, but somebody's going to be 0-7 when this game is over. Viking Skywalker, who'd you take in this one? I got Jax's pick and Evil Dead's pick. I don't have Vikings pick. Viking, who'd you pick in this one? 3rd and 20 for the Skins at their own 10-yard line. Tipton looking. Tipton is going to take off, and Tipton picks up the first down all the way out to the 32-yard line. A gain of 22 yards. First down, Washington. All right, thank you, Viking. I missed that. I want to make sure I gave you credit for that. 1st and 10, Washington. They move it out to their own 32-yard line. 4 wide. Tipton in the shotgun. Tipton hands off to Ciali. And Ciali out to the 35. A gain of 4. Be 2nd and 6. CGM in the house. Yes, 26 is, as I describe it, is unplayable. I am really, really disappointed with 26. I really am. It's a piece of garbage. It's a major step back from 25. Yeah, they will. 2nd and 6. Tipton to Ciali. And Ciali will lose a yard, or maybe half a yard. It'll be 3rd and 7. Wade Sullivan on the tackle for Carolina. But always good to see CGM in the house. We kind of wish CGM was here more often. He adds a lot of insights to this channel here. But always good to see him. He's got his finger on the pulse of our nation's capital. That's where he's from. 3rd and 7. Tipton in the shotgun. 4 wide. Tipton back. Tipton throws deep down the sideline. Incomplete. This game going pretty much like I thought. 2 0-6 teams. Both offenses can't do anything. Not doing squat. Cody Meyer will come into punt for Washington. Yes, I wish 25 had it. I mean, I'm as close as I can get with the pants here, but I'd love to have the tops too. Cody Meyer back to punt for the Redskins on 4th and 7. But that's not enough for me to play 26. There's the kick. I know. Out to the 26-yard line. On the return, John Cunningham. The big problem though, CGM, they took the hurry-up offense completely out of 26. I mean, no semblance of it whatsoever. And you can't mix and match the classic uniforms anymore. For a great many of them. 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line. The Panthers take over. George in the shotgun. George hands off to Holt. And Holt out to the 28-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 7. We still have no score here in the first quarter. I know how to do it. It's just time consuming. But there's other reasons why I don't want to play 26. Cunningham can't hold on 2nd down as they try to throw out to him. Incomplete. John Cunningham in his 4th year out of Oregon. The wide receiver will be 3rd and 7 for Carolina. At their own 28. Every possession has ended with a punt so far. This is the 4th possession overall. 3rd and 7. George looking. George, wobbly pass. Oh, nearly caught though. Incomplete. Bruce Hammond had a shot at it. It'll be 4th down. We're going to see our 4th consecutive punt. But what do you expect? Both teams are 0-6. Back to punt, Derek White in his 10th year out of Notre Dame. It's a punt fest. There's the kick from the 25. On the return, out to the 34-yard line is number 31, and that's Mark Young, the former Packer. Well, I can see it. I've only had two scoreless ties. This is back before I went to double overtime. 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. 5 wide. Tipton throws, and it's dropped. This is why you're 0-6. Dante Ciali drops it. It'll be 2nd and 10. All the way back in sim season number, I think it was 15. A Thanksgiving night game. It was the Saints and the Giants. It ended scoreless after overtime. 2nd and 10 from the 34-yard line. Tipton looking. Tipton throws, and caught by Virgil Say. Out to the 44-yard line, a gain of 9. It'll be 3rd and inches. And the very next season, sim season number 16, it was the Saints again and Tampa Bay in a scoreless tie that went to overtime. Ended 0-0. It's happened twice. 3rd and inches from the 44-yard line. Tipton in the shotgun. Ciali gets the 1st down, 3 yards out to the 47-yard line. Why they have turned to crap, I don't know, CGM. I don't know. As much hype as they had on 26 this summer, I am truly disappointed. Well, you're talking about the Redskins. Yeah, the mighty have fallen. You're right. Tipton throws outside, caught by Alex Hayes out to the 49-yard line. A gain of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. 42 seconds left. In a unsurprisingly scoreless first quarter. On 2nd and 6 from the Panther 49, Tipton hands off to Ciali, and Dante Ciali drives forward down to the 37-yard line. A gain of 12, it'll be 1st and 10. We might get the first triple overtime. We might. A lot would have to align in the sky for that to happen, but you never know. Will they get the playoff in time? 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. They do. Tipton looking. Tipton throws, and it's knocked down incomplete. At the end of 1, we have no score here at Jammin' Sports. Welcome back to Landover, Maryland. We go to the second quarter in a game I should have flexed into the Sunday night slot. The 0-6 Panthers, the 0-6 Redskins. Not. We're tied at 0. It's 2nd and 10 for the Redskins at the Panther 37. Redskins trying to score in this one. Tipton in the shotgun. Tipton fakes the handoff. And Tipton's going to get sacked back at the 45-yard line. A loss of 8 yards. Wade Sullivan again on the sack for Carolina. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 18. Wade Sullivan in his 5th year out of Michigan. It only works for a little while, and then it won't let you play it anymore. So I said, you know what? Screw it. 3rd and 18 for the 45-yard line. Well, they want you to buy the newer games. All the PS4 games on the PS5 are starting to do that. Tipton throws deep. Incomplete. It'll be 4th down. He was looking for G. Scott in his 2nd year out of Ohio State. Who was I talking with just the other day? I think it was Waldo. He said the same thing happened to him now. On 4th and 18, Cody Meyer. Yeah, the digital version it will work, but you can't get the digital anymore. Goes to the end zone, touchback. 1st and 10, Panthers at the 20-yard line. Makes me wish I had a digital copy, but that's not available anymore. 1st and 10, Carolina at their own 20. Still scoreless, 7:26 until halftime. In the rain. Luke George hands off to Darryl Holt, and Holt makes his way out to the 26-yard line. A gain of 6, it'll be 2nd and 4. These are the only two teams that have not won a game. 25 is good, yeah. I like good. It's a decent game. 2nd and 4. They hand off to Holt. And Holt to the 26. No gain. It'll be 3rd and 4. Yeah, well, I don't have a PS4 anymore. I have a PS3. Where my Madden 12 is in. 3rd and 4 for the Panthers at their own 26. 4 wide. George on the shotgun. George fakes the handoff. Throws. Dumps it off to Cunningham. Gets the 1st down out to the 38-yard line. A gain of 12. 1st down, Panthers. On the tackle, Sean Keller, the 2nd-year linebacker out of Jacksonville State. 1st down, Carolina. Who do they play next week? Not that it really matters. Both teams are almost mathematically out already. Not really, but They hand off to Holt on 1st and 10, and Holt out to the 41, a gain of 3. That'll bring up 2nd and 7. Next week, the Redskins play at Tampa Bay, and the Panthers next week will host Atlanta. Second and 7 for the Panthers. George hands off to Holt, and Darryl Holt picks up 3 yards out to the 43-yard line and bring up 3rd and 4. 5:32 and counting. We're still scoreless here in the second quarter. Evil Dead made a good point during the last game. The Panthers really should be 2-4. They should have won their last 2 games. 4 wide. George back. George in trouble, is going to take off. And Luke George into Redskin territory down to the 37-yard line. A gain of 19 yards on the scamper. First down, Carolina. They only lost to the Cowboys because their kicker couldn't make an extra point. He missed 4 of them. And they lost by 3. George in the shotgun, 1st and 10. George throws and incomplete. And last week against the Saints scored to make it 21-20 with less than 10 seconds left. And instead of kicking the extra point, the Saints went for 2 and they got it. And they won that game 22-21. 2nd and 10 from the 37-yard line. George in the shotgun, 4 wide. George looking, throws, dumps it off, making the catch. Jared Moore down to the 34-yard line, a gain of 2. It'll be 3rd and 8. Tackle made by O'Neal Potts, the former Charger, in his 7th year out of Baylor. 4:40 left in the first half, still no score. Well, this one's living up to its billing. We called it the toilet bowl. No score halfway through the second quarter. 4 wide. George in the shotgun, 3rd down. Cunningham in motion. George draws back, in trouble, and gets sacked back at the 45-yard line. A loss of 11 yards. Robert Andrews, the 3rd-year linebacker out of Wake Forest, on the sack. It'll bring up 4th and 19. This game is setting pro football back about 85 years right here. Well, the defenses are playing well. I'll give them that. Neither offense can do squat. Derek White will come in to punt. Gets the punt away after bobbling it. Aiming for the sideline, out of bounds at the 18-yard line. A 27-yard punt. First down, Redskins. 3:49 left in the half. We're still scoreless. They put the real... Yeah, I heard it was delayed. They err on the side of safety. I can't really say I blame them for that. I can't really complain about that. 1st and 10, 4 wide. George on the... Not George. This is the other one now. Tipton throws across the middle to Virgil Say. And Say out to the 28-yard line. A gain of 10. First down, Redskins. Coming up on 3.5 minutes left in the half. Still no score. It would be poetic for this game to go to overtime scoreless. It would. 1st and 10. Tipton looking. Tipton's going to take off. And Eric Tipton picks up 5 out to the 33-yard line, bringing up 2nd and 5. Well, one nice thing about it being scoreless, this game is moving right along. We're only 24 minutes in. Yeah, the cheapest ever. 2nd and 5 from the 33-yard line. Tipton hands off to Ciali, and Dante Ciali makes his way to the 37-yard line. A gain of 4. It'll be 3rd and 1. Dante Ciali in his 11th year out of Marshall. 2:40 left. We're coming up on the 2-minute warning here in the first half. Redskins come out with two backs in the backfield. Tipton in the shotgun. 3rd and 1. Tipton back, throws, and caught by Say out to the 44-yard line. A gain of 7. First down, Redskins. On the tackle, Levi Myers, the 5th-year safety out of Hawaii. I don't think they could give away tickets to this game. Even NFL Red Zone didn't want to show it. 1st and 10. Will they get the playoff in time? Tipton fakes the handoff. Tipton throws and caught down the sideline. That is trying to pick up the number 80, Virgil Say, down to the 15-yard line as we hit the 2-minute warning. 41 yards, Virgil Say. Somebody may score. Somebody wake up Evil Dead. 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. 4 wide. Tipton in the shotgun. Tipton back. Tipton throws across the middle. Say makes the catch again. No, actually, I guess T.J. Ross, the 3rd-year receiver out of Virginia. A gain of 3 down to the 12. It'd be 2nd and 7. Yeah, they had to pay the fans. We rented out fans for this game. On 2nd and 7 from the 12. Tipton in the shotgun. Tipton looking. Tipton rolls out. Throws to the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown. Redskins. Virgil Say, a 12-yard touchdown catch. And somebody finally scores. The Redskins take a 6-0 lead. Truth be told, greatest team ever. Truth be told, if I had to pick a game, if I had to pick this one, I would have took the Redskins. I think Carolina might be the worst team. And now the extra point by Zach Harris. Kick is up, and it's good. Redskins lead at 7-0. We still have time, though. 1:12 left in the half. The Panthers at 0-6. The Redskins at 0-6. Waldo's in the house. Yeah, they brought out all the COVID fans. Yeah, that's who's in the stands right now. 2 winless teams. The Panthers and Redskins. They're both 0-6, combined 0-12. Somebody's going to win their first game. Redskins go up 7-0. Cody Meyer will kick off. Go Panthers, Waldo says. From the 9-yard line on the return, this is Bruce Hammond. And Hammond brings it out to the 35. Carolina has 1:08 to work with. Now Carolina, not counting the special teams, played pretty well against the Saints last week, and they played well against the Cowboys. If not for those 4 missed extra points, they would have beat the Cowboys. Four wide, 1st and 10. Luke George in the shotgun. George draws back. It's a blitz. Gets it out to Darryl Holt. And Holt makes his way to the 37, just a 2-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 8. Both teams still have 3 timeouts. 1:02 remaining. Trying to figure out why the clock is stopped. Nobody took a timeout. Interesting. 4 wide. George in the shotgun. George looking. George in trouble. George is going to take off. Luke George gets the first down. George still running. Look at this. All the way down to the 40-yard line. 23 yards for Luke George. Refused to go down. Some poor tackling by the Redskins. They should have had him there. He got like 7 extra yards after being touched there. We're down. They took a timeout. They have 2 left. 53 seconds. 1st and 10 from the Redskin 40. George throws quickly, and it's caught by J.T. Franklin down to the 36, a gain of 3. Be 2nd and 7. We're down to 41 seconds. Panthers going into the hurry-up offense here. 35. They come out 4 wide. George in the shotgun. George looking. George throws and caught by J.T. Franklin again, down to the 27-yard line. A gain of 9. First down, Panthers. They take a timeout. They have 1 left. 22 seconds left until halftime. Waldo saying, "Go Panthers." Four wide for Carolina. George in the shotgun, 1st and 10. George looking. George in trouble. George gets sacked. Back at the 33. A loss of 6. Raymond Ray on the sack. That's my man, Raymond Ray. He's got the best name in all of football. In his 9th year out of Houston. Carolina not taking a timeout. They're just going to let the clock run out. Now they finally call a timeout. They should have ran a play and got closer and then call timeout. Now they're going to try a 50-yard field goal right before halftime. FedEx Field, Landover, Maryland. Week 7 in the rain. 0-6 Panthers, 0-6 Redskins. All right, here's the new kicker, Chris Jackson, trying to earn his pay here. A 50-yard field goal in the rain. He nailed it. Now, the old kicker would not have got it to the 25. In 54 minutes, I can play NBA 2K26. Now, I'm done with the hockey and basketball games. Nobody watches them. Which is a shame. I like the hockey, but nobody watches it. Even less watch the basketball. Redskins up 7-3. And now Chris Jackson will kick off. From about 7 yards deep, a touchback by Mark Young. So with 1 second left in the half, the Redskins will have it at their own 30. Let's see what they do. What I mean is, when I stream it, and even after the fact, nobody watches. Yeah, I don't pull in the crowd like I do with football or baseball. They're just going to take a knee and go to halftime. Halftime score, the Redskins 7, the Panthers 3, here at Jammin' Sports. And welcome back to FedEx Field. It's the battle of the winless here. The 0-6 Panthers, the 0-6 Redskins. The Redskins lead at 7-3 as we start the third quarter. Somebody's going to get their first win today. The Redskins will get the ball first. There's the kickoff by Chris Jackson. From the 3-yard line on the return, this is Mark Young. And Young brings it out to the 26. 1st and 10. Earlier this evening, the Eagles beat the Bills. That was an upset. And the Ravens upset the Jets. I can't really say there'd be an upset here. No matter who wins, it's not an upset. I think Vegas has this as a pick'em game. 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line. Tipton in the shotgun. Tipton looking. Tipton rolls out. Tipton's going to take off and slides at the 31-yard line. A gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. Yeah, when I used to stream hockey and basketball, it'd be crickets. I mean, there's it'd just be me for the most part. 2nd and 5 from the 31-yard line. Tipton in the shotgun. Tipton looking. Tipton throws and caught by Ciali. Dante Ciali out to the 39-yard line. A gain of 8. First down for the Redskins. Wade Sullivan on the tackle. He's been making all the tackles today for Carolina. I'd be in that huddle saying, come on, guys, somebody else make a tackle. First and 10 from the 39. Tipton in the gun. Tipton. Oh, that was a mess. He's got to take off with it. Somebody went the wrong way. Broken play, but Tipton manages to get 3 yards out to the 42-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 7. The broken plays are fun to watch. 6:40 and counting here in the third quarter. Redskins up 7-3. 5 wide, empty backfield. Tipton in the shotgun. Back to throw. Gets it out to Dante Ciali out to the 48. A gain of 6. I don't know what that's about. I think Sullivan was celebrating. Somebody else made a tackle. It'll be 3rd and 1. Tipton in the shotgun on 3rd down. Tipton drops back, throws, caught. James Norris on the tackle. A gain of 5 as they cross midfield to the Panther 47-yard line. Sullivan again on the tackle. I'd be getting pissed off. 5:50 left in the third. 1st and 10 Redskins at the Panther 47-yard line. Tipton hands off to Ciali, and Dante Ciali gets outside and gets to the 42-yard line. A gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. Dwayne Smith finally came up, made the tackle. 10th-year defensive back out of Clemson. 2nd and 5 for the Redskins at the Panther 42. Redskins up 7-3. Tipton in the shotgun. Tipton looking, throws, and caught by Norris again down to the 35. A gain of 7. First down Redskins. As we're coming up on 5 minutes left here in the third quarter. Redskins come out. Tipton in the shotgun. Sigel back from the Panther 35 looking. It's a blitz, and Sullivan comes in. Somebody needs to give him a game ball, man. A loss of 7 yards. Back to the 42, be 2nd and 17. I mean, about 95% of the tackles are Sullivan there, Wade Sullivan. 2nd and 17 for the Redskins at the Panther 42. They come out 4 wide. Tipton in the shotgun. Tipton looking, throws, and caught. Making the catch, Jermaine Moore, the rookie receiver out of USC, down to the 31-yard line. That'll be a gain of 11. It's going to bring up 3rd and 6. 4:12 remaining here in the third quarter. Redskins come out 4 wide on 3rd down. Make it 5 wide. Empty backfield. Tipton looking. Tipton throws, and it's caught. G. Scott, the tight end, in his 2nd year out of Ohio State. Good for 17 yards, down to the 14-yard line. That's another Redskin first down. I think the Redskins are starting to pull away now. We're going to see just how bad Carolina is. They may be worse than Denver, and that's saying a lot. 1st and 10 from the 14. Tipton throws a swing pass, and it's caught by Norris down to the 7-yard line. A gain of 7. It'll be 2nd and 3. James Norris in his 7th year out of Ball State. 3:20 left to play here in the third quarter. 4 wide for the Redskins. Tipton in the shotgun. Tipton throws to Norris. That's actually G. Scott. Touchdown, Redskins. A 7-yard catch by G. Scott, the tight end. Imagine if this game is the spark that lights the fire for the Redskins. Yeah, watch them go 10-6 down the or 10-0 down the stretch here. That'd be something. They go up 13-3 now, and Zach Harris will come on for the extra point. That would be something. 1 down, 9 to go. The extra point is up and good. Redskins lead it 14-3. That was a nice 12-play, 73-yard drive. FedEx Field, Landover, Maryland, Week 7 here at Jammin' Sports. Redskins play at Tampa Bay next week. That's going to be a tough game. Then they host Chicago. Chicago's not that good. Then they host Philadelphia. We saw what Philadelphia did earlier today. I'm just looking at the Redskins' remaining schedule. And then they host the Giants. Good luck with that. Then they have their bye. Then they're at Carolina. Can't wait for that rematch. There's the kickoff. From the 5-yard line. On the return, Cunningham. Out over the 25. Out to the 27-yard line. Let's see, the Redskins, after they play at Carolina, they will host Dallas. Then they're at Philadelphia. And then, let's see, they host Buffalo. And the final game of the season, they're at the Giants. I don't see them running the table. 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. Luke George in the shotgun, 4 wide. George looking. George throws and caught by Cunningham out to the 45. A gain of 18 yards. John Cunningham in his 4th year out of Oregon. First down, Panthers. Carolina trying to get back in this game, down by 11. They come out, single back. 1st and 10 from the 45. George in the shotgun. George in trouble. Throws it wide open. One-handed catch by Darryl Holt. Down to the 42 as they cross this midfield. 13 yards. You see that backhanded one-handed catch by Darryl Holt, the 10th year back out of Maryland. Homecoming for him today. 2:15 left in the 3rd quarter. 1st and 10 Panthers from the Redskin 42-yard line. George in the shotgun. George looking. George in trouble, and he gets sacked. Back at the 49, a loss of 7 yards. Rodney Howe on the tackle. The only player in the league from Rhode Island in his 4th year. It'll be 2nd and 17 for the Panthers at the Redskin 49-yard line. Less than 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Panthers come out 4 wide. George in the shotgun. It would be. Well, the Giants have played the Panthers twice already. George, incomplete. Threw it at his feet. Now the Giants, you heard, they still have 2 games with the Redskins. But they've already beaten the Panthers twice. 3rd and 17 from the Redskin 49-yard line. George in the shotgun. George looking. George throws downfield and caught. Jared Moore down to the 22-yard line. A gain of 27 yards and a Carolina first down. Sean Wright, the safety, on the tackle. But that'll move the chains for Carolina. A minute 30 left in the quarter. Carolina trying to make it a 1-possession game. 4 wide. George in the shotgun. 1st and 10. George looking. George throws and caught. That's J.T. Franklin down to the 11-yard line. A gain of 11 yards. Another Carolina first down. J.T. Franklin in his 5th year out of SMU. He spent 4 years with the Raiders. Now in his 1st year with Carolina. Coming up on a minute left in the 3rd. 4 wide, 1st and 10. George looking. George in trouble. And he manages to throw it away. Incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 11-yard line. Heads up play by George, not taking the sack. He's a rookie, but he's learning. Second and 10 from the 11. 4 wide. George under center, single back. George to Holt, and Holt goes nowhere. They're going to get Holt for a 3-yard loss. That's Rodney Howe again. There you go. Exactly. 3rd and 13 from the 14-yard line. George in the shotgun. George draws back. George throws to the end zone. It's caught by Cunningham. They're calling it a touchdown. I don't know about that. I think he only got 1 foot in. But John Cunningham, a catch in the back of the end zone. Right now it's going to be an 11-yard touchdown catch. They'll review that. That will probably get overturned. If they don't overturn it, it's because they're feeling sorry for them. They're going to go for 2. It holds up. They're going to try to make this a 3-point game. George looking, throws, caught. 2-point conversion is good. John Cunningham with the catch. He says, take that, New Orleans. We can do it too. 14-11 now. The Redskins lead it with 21 seconds left here in the third quarter. Yeah, real life refs. That should not have been a touchdown. But what they used to tell us all the time when I was doing stats for the University of Miami and the Dolphins when I was in high school, you may be right, you may be wrong, but you're official. I'll never forget that. But it's so true. Redskins lead is now 3. Chris Jackson will kick off. We still have a lot of football to go here. 21 seconds left in the third quarter of the Toilet Bowl. There's the kick. From the 4-yard line on the return. This is Mark Young. No, this is not Young. This is number 87, Alex Hayes, out to the 37-yard line. I thought Hayes might break that one. 1st and 10. 16 seconds left. Redskins can make it a 2-score game with another touchdown. On first down, Tipton to Ciali up the middle, and Dante Ciali to the 43-yard line. A gain of 7. It'll be 2nd and 3. And that will do it for the third quarter. Redskins up 14-11 here at Jammin' Sports. Welcome back to FedEx Field, Landover, Maryland. We go to the fourth quarter. 4 wide. 2nd and 3 for the Redskins, up by 3 at their own 43-yard line. Tipton hands off to Ciali. And Dante Ciali picks up the first down out to the 48, a gain of 5. 1st and 10, Redskins. Our third game this evening. Once again, we'll be off tomorrow. I have high school football on the radio tomorrow. And I also have lawnmower races on Saturday. I can't believe they hired me for that. I should be in Saturday night. 1st and 10, Tipton out to the 50-yard line. A gain of 2, be 2nd and 8. The Toilet Bowl. It's a Week 7 regular season game. They just happen to be 0-6, both teams. 2nd and 8 from the 50-yard line, 4 wide. Tipton in the shotgun, and now they shift. Tipton hands off to Ciali, and Ciali picks up a yard to the 49-yard line. Who else? Wade Sullivan on the tackle. 3rd and 7 for the Redskins at the Panther 49-yard line. Want to welcome all those who have been playing Madden 26. I feel for you. The game is a mess. Welcome into Jammin' Sports. 3rd and 7 from the 49. Tipton in the shotgun. Tipton looking. Tipton throws deep. He's got a man down the sideline. Virgil Say down to the 6-yard line. A gain of 43 yards. First down, Washington. First and goal from the 6. Tipton put that one right on the money. Caught him in stride. Left him enough room to move up the sideline. First and goal from the Panthers 6. Redskins trying to make it a 2-score game again. Tipton in the shotgun, first and goal. Tipton looking, throws underneath, caught by Say, down to the 1. A gain of 5. It'll be second and goal from the 1-yard line. You know, it being a Thursday, we've had a decent crowd all night, so I just want to say I appreciate that. Second and goal from the 1-yard line, everybody in tight. Tipton under center. Hands off to Ciali. Touchdown, Redskins. A 1-yard touchdown run by Dante Ciali. The powerful running back with a French last name. In his 11th year out of Marshall. Still going strong. The Beast is what we call him. Evil Dead coined that. Yeah, it turned into something in the fourth quarter. And now Zach Harris for the extra point. It'll put the Redskins up by 10. Back to a 2-score game. 5:42 left. Kick is up. And it's good. Redskins up 21-11. It looks like Evil Dead and Jax will get this game right. Viking, you're looking at going 0 for 3 today. 0 for 4 if you go back to the other night. I shouldn't laugh. I just feel badly. I'm still trying to figure out how Evil Dead finished 50 games over 500 last season. That was just amazing. But Evil Dead got on a roll toward the end of the season there. There's the kick from the 7-yard line. On the return, Bruce Hammond out to the 27-yard line. No, there was a stretch there, Evil Dead. If you remember, you went like 40 games and you got like 35 of them right. If you remember, towards the end of the season, you were just rolling. What? You know things. Redskins up by 10 with 5:38 left. Yeah, you know things. Well, let's see if the Panthers can rally. I would bet the life savings on it, though. 4 wide from their own 27-yard line. George in the shotgun. George to Holt up the middle. And Darryl Holt out to the 40, a gain of 13. You're just hanging out with the amateurs for now. I'm going to be very careful with my picks the rest of the week. Congratulations, Evil Dead. Well, Evil Dead so far this week is 4-0. He took the Giants last night. On 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line, George in the shotgun. Actually, never mind. 1st and 10, George throws outside. Holt out of bounds at the 40. Second and 10 from the 40-yard line. 5:04 left to play. Great crowd tonight, especially with an real NFL game on. 2nd and 10. Back to throw. George throws outside to Holt, who falls down. Steps out of bounds at the 43-yard line. A gain of 4, be 3rd and 6. That'll stop the clock with 4:51 left. Davis Jr. Waldo, he called you Davis Jr. I'd rather get a Razzie Award than me. 3rd and 6 for Carolina. Down by 10 with 4:51 left. 4 wide. George in the shotgun. George drops back. Throws downfield and is caught by Cunningham down to the 37-yard line. It's a 19-yard gain. Most of the time, yes. That's right. I keep telling people all the time, my NFL is a lot more entertaining and interactive. No gimmicks, just football. I get tired of the gimmicks. 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. George looking. George throws. And that time, it's dropped by Jared Moore. Incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10. .4:23 left. Redskins up by 10. 4 wide. George in the shotgun. 2nd and 10. Throws downfield. Caught by Moore. Down to the 28. A gain of 9. That's going to bring up 3rd and 1. 4:12 left. Clock is moving. Now we're down to 4 minutes left. 4 wide. 3rd and 1 from the 28 of the Redskins. George in the shotgun. George drops back. George throws and threw it at the feet of J.T. Franklin. Incomplete. It'll be 4th and 1. Panthers have to go for it here. We're less than 4 minutes. Well, they might kick the field goal. They're down by 10. Yeah, they'll kick the field goal. This will be a 45-yard attempt by Chris Jackson, the rookie out of Tennessee. The kick is up and good. Boy, what a difference he's made for the Panthers. And it's now a 7-point game. Washington leads at 21-14 with 3:50 left. If the Panthers defense can get a stop, then this one gets interesting. We may still have overtime. You never know. Don't want to get ahead of myself. It'd be funny if the two 0-6 teams go to overtime. There's the kickoff by Carolina. Jackson kicks off from the 6-yard line. On the return this time, this will be Mark Young out to the 29-yard line. Yeah, he would have won it for him 2 weeks ago. Tipton, his highlights. It's weird to see Redskin highlights that are actually highlights. The touchdown to Say and the touchdown to Scott. Redskins lead it 21-14. Carolina got 14 the hard way. It's not 2 touchdowns. Redskins got their 21 the old-fashioned way. 3 touchdowns. 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. Tipton in the shotgun. Tipton hands off to Ciali, and Dante Ciali out to the 32-yard line, a gain of 3. Bring up 2nd and 7. Clock is moving. 3:35 and counting. Carolina trying to get a stop. Great crowd for a Thursday. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. On 2nd and 7, 4 wide. Tipton in the shotgun. Tipton looking. Tipton still looking. Throws. Dumps it off. Ciali picks up 3 yards to the 35. It'll be 3rd and 4. Clock is moving. We're down to almost 3 minutes left. Panthers trying to get a stop. 3rd and 4. Redskins 5 wide. Empty backfield for Tipton. 3rd and 4. Tipton takes the snap. Throws, and it's caught. Making the catch, Virgil Say to the 43-yard line. A gain of 8. First down, Redskins. And that will let them run it down to the 2-minute warning. I don't think they'll run another play. They'll just let it run down to the 2-minute timeout. 2 minutes. Live from FedEx Field, Landover, Maryland, Week 7 here at Jammin' Sports. The 0-6 Panthers, the 0-6 Redskins. Somebody's going to finally get a win. And it looks like it's going to be Washington. 1st and 10, everybody in tight. Tipton to Ciali, and Ciali out to the 50-yard line. He got a great spot. A gain of 7. It'll be 2nd and 3. It looked like he was tackled at the 49, but they give it to him at the 50. Panthers take a timeout. They have 2 left. If the Redskins get a first down here, it's over. Tipton in the shotgun on 2nd and 3. Tipton to Ciali again with 2 hands. Picks up the first down to the 46-yard line. A gain of 4. Carolina. Thank you, Evil Dead. Carolina takes their second timeout. I might have a chance to watch the end of that game when this is over because of the lightning delay. I might check it out for a few minutes. 1st and 10 from the 46. Tipton to Ciali. Gets outside, and Ciali gets the first down to the 34-yard line. A gain of 12. Yeah, that's a big problem, CGM. I hate that. I hate that because I mix and match all the time. Plus, the hurry-up offense isn't in there. I don't. It's just I want to scream sometimes. 1st and 10, victory formation. Tipton will take a knee. Panthers have no timeouts. The Redskins are going to go to 1 and 6. Let's all celebrate. And the Panthers are going to drop to 0 and 7. Panthers, they're not eliminated from the playoffs yet. But they're getting closer. They're going to run a play here on 2nd and 11. They hand off to Ciali. And Ciali picks up 7 yards down to the 28-yard line. This will tick under 40 seconds. They'll snap it one more time, and that'll be it. It actually ended up being not a bad game, all things considered. Tipton will take a knee. Let it wind down as far as they can. And that should do it. We'll be back Saturday night. I don't know the exact time yet. Probably around 8 or 9 Eastern with at least one game. Redskins going to try a field goal. The kick is up. And insult to injury, it's good. Your final score, Washington 24, Carolina 14. Thanks for watching here at Jammin' Sports. We'll see you Saturday night. Good night, everybody.